Hi, I'm attorney Gary Quackenbush. I'm a California attorney and I am here to help you. I am a financial solutions attorney dedicated to help you live a debt-free life. You've asked for this video and I'm sending you this link along with other information that you can find on YouTube's under my same name. You can search things under GQ Law or Gary Quackenbush Attorney, and you can find other videos that are available to you for free. This video, Live a Debt-Free Life, I'd like to explain to you that it really is possible to live a debt-free life. Relationships are one thing that is so important in our lives, and at times debts become so severe or so overbearing that we start to mess up the relationships that we have in our life. So you know by viewing this video it is important to live a debt-free life. If you have debts, then you can make a plan. Now, one thing that we know about Americans is only 1 in 10 Americans actually have a budget. Now, a budget sounds like a dirty word, so I prefer to call it a spending plan. Rather than a budget, which is like saying diet, if you don't say diet, you say I have an eating plan, or I'm going to eat right or get healthy, it sounds better and more positive. Well, from the term budget, it sounds like a restriction, which we really don't want to have. We want to have freedom to spend. You have a certain amount of money, you have spending habits. And I found some books that have been really helpful. There's a book that my wife always recommends called The Millionaire Next Door. So that's something, I'm not endorsing this book necessarily. It's by Thomas Stanley and William Danko, The Millionaire Next Door. And it talks about this guy that does simple budgeting, and he lives in a manner that you wouldn't believe he was a millionaire. Drives a standard car, lives in a decent house, has a great family, but you wouldn't believe that the guy is wealthy. Well, it's because he manages money. Another book that I found that's really important is a book called Winning with Money. I'm, again, not endorsing this. Winningwithmoney.com is a website you can go to, and it's a book all about budgeting. If you can put together a spending plan in which you can get rid of all of your debt in 2 years, only 2, then I would say you're in great shape. You look at your credit card statements, you determine, it'll say on there, if you make the minimum monthly payment, you'll pay this off in 30 years and pay 5 times the amount, which is really true, because with an interest rate of 10, 15, 20%, that's actually true. If you can calculate how much it would take per month to get rid of all of your debt in 2 years, and you can do it, you're in great shape. If you're not, then I think you probably need to invest your time into exploring the options of bankruptcy, which is a protection afforded by the U.S. Constitution. The first article of the Constitution says that Congress has the authority to lay laws and create regulations regarding bankruptcy. It's right there with the post office and the militia. It is so important to us as Americans to be debt-free. It was so important to our forefathers who came to this land and decided that bankruptcy was going to be a protection afforded by the U.S. Constitution, not an amendment. First article, U.S. Constitution. You can look it up, and you'll see that it has bankruptcy laws to help protect individuals and businesses, families, be debt-free. Bankruptcy is not a dirty word. I want to explain 2 different types of bankruptcies here. One is a Chapter 7. Now, the way I remember them is there's a 7 and a 13 that involve individuals. The 7, a little number, is a short bankruptcy. It only takes about 90 days, debt-free in 90 days. The other bankruptcy of Chapter 13 is a reorganization. It can be individuals or small businesses, and it's for those who are inclined to pay back their debts or perhaps need to pay back their debts. There are certain obligations that will not go away in bankruptcy, which would be student loans, debts to the U.S. government like taxes that are less than 3 years old, state taxes less than 3 years old. The rest of your taxes you could probably get rid of in a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13. The other thing you can do with the Chapter 13 is a plan of reorganization. You can actually remove the second trust deed from your home, or even a third or fourth. Remove them and pay them like a credit card. In a Chapter 13, the key is you only have to pay what you can afford to pay based on your actual budget. So as a result, for example, I had a client that owed about $150,000 on a second trust deed on their home, as well as $30,000 in credit cards. We put together a Chapter 13 plan where the entire second of $150,000 and the $30,000 credit card debt was paid for 5 years at $350 a month. $350 a month, 5 years. That's not $150,000. It's not $180,000. It's much less than that. And that's what a Chapter 13 can do. It's very powerful. Also can help you catch up on your home mortgage if you got behind. The Chapter 7 bankruptcy is designed to help you protect your assets. Interesting fact. The U.S. government has provided that you can protect in a Chapter 7 bankruptcy up to $1 million in a retirement account. It must be important to be able to reserve and preserve and protect from your creditors your retirement account. What that tells me is that if you're digging into your retirement account, if you need to go into your retirement account to pay debts, to pay for food, to pay for general living, you need to consider a Chapter 7 bankruptcy or perhaps a Chapter 13. Do not touch your retirement account. Don't plow into your savings. Don't go and get seconds on your house to try to pay off your debts. I think you should call me, Attorney Gary Quackenbush, at 855-MY-GQ-LAW. 855-MY-GQ-LAW. That number's been flashing on the screen right across my chest this whole time. You can also go to my website, gqlaw.com, and follow me there to get other information regarding bankruptcy, debt relief, budgeting, my books that are available. You can also find me on Facebook at GQ Law. Hi, one last thing I wanted to go over with you. Some people might be inordinately concerned that their credit report might be destroyed by filing a bankruptcy, and that really couldn't be further from the truth. Bankruptcy typically affects your credit less than late payments do. I actually pulled a credit report for a client of mine the other day, and the improvement on his credit score before filing bankruptcy compared to after filing bankruptcy, the improvement was 167 points. Now, that's not a typical or necessarily an average increase in credit scores, but it was because he had so much credit card debt. When we got rid of it, it improved his debt-to-income ratio as well as a myriad of other things, and it made his credit score go up. And that's pretty typical. I've been finding that credit scores typically go up or they barely go down after a bankruptcy filing. I also know a guy that does credit repair. He's reputable and honest, which is really hard to say about a lot of those companies, but I can recommend one person at Fortress Credit Pro. That's fortresscreditpro.com. You can call me or go on my website or email me, and I'll give you that information to get your credit back in shape, because good credit is an awesome thing to have. Hope this helps. Thanks for listening. Hope this was helpful. If you want other information, follow my YouTube account, and we'll post more as we go. Thanks.